Hello, my podcast people, and thank you for joining me for yet another episode of my favorite podcast. It is Monday, September 11th when this podcast episode drops, and right off the bat, I want to send all the good vibes to any and all of you who were affected by the events of September 11th. That was 22 years ago, which is just wild to me. And for those of you who don't know, I'm from the East Coast, and actually my town got hit pretty hard in terms of lives lost. A lot of people worked in the towers. I lived in Summit, New Jersey, which was not far from New York City, like 45 minutes. And actually we could see the towers in the skyline from the like higher points in the town. So that day was something I definitely remember. I really can't believe it's 22 years ago, but as I sat down to record this episode, I was like, holy shit, it's going to go out on September 11th. And I wanted to make sure that I took a moment to acknowledge that day and to send all of the good things. And, you know, it kind of feels so like weird just being like, feels like you're like, I'm sending thoughts and prayers, but that's all I can really send is sending all the good things to any and all of you who were infected in any way, shape, or form by the events on September 11th. I am batching the episodes, so if you've listened to the last episode, nothing has changed since then. The house is still dope. Moopert, still having drama, but we're working on it. The framing, though, for the video is what I want it to be. So if you're watching on YouTube, you see I'm happy with it. What is a little different from the last episode is that the lighting is different. So I recorded last week's episode this morning, and now it's a few hours later. And if you listen to last Thursday's episode, I told you my office has a window that is south facing and also a window that is west facing. And so the light that is coming from the south facing window is great. It's behind the camera, but the west facing window, that view is amazing. But as the day goes on, the sun goes that way. And then you don't really want sun necessarily coming from like behind you. It is, yes, the window's to the side of me, but it's also kind of from behind. So I got the shade down so the camera's not trying to pull that light. And we're just working for the one from the light behind, but we're working on that. We're going to figure that out. It's good enough. I'm happy with it. So today's episode is inspired by my girl E-Web. She sent me a voice note. She's got the best accent ever, y'all. Best accent ever. I brought her on the podcast. Y'all loved her. I was on her podcast. I loved it. I loved her. Y'all loved that episode as well. So we'll link both of those. Thank you, Courtney. But today we're going to talk about the role that guaranteeing results plays when it comes to business. We're also going to talk about how your comfort level with guaranteeing results will change over time. And we're going to talk about the role of the customer as it relates to results and expectations. So we know, I borrowed this phrase from Danny Mattei. I don't know where he got it from, but I be saying it all the time. Businesses are built on solutions to problems. One of the issues, quote unquote, with online business is that you can have a passion for something and tremendous proficiency. And you're like, I'm going to do an online business. I'm going to market this service. But it doesn't mean that it solves a problem that people are willing to pay to have solved. If we flip the script, we understand this, right? You put yourself in the shoes of the consumer, and you understand you want a result. You want to pay for things that you want. You want a guaranteed outcome. I just moved to this new place, and we're buying patio furniture, buying patio furniture covers, buying a fire table for outside. And I'm reading reviews like crazy. I am that person. Read 57,000 reviews, try things out if you can, and never have to return. I don't like returning stuff. So yes, I read reviews like crazy. And yes, I want a result delivered. I want the thing that's promised. All right. I spoke about this in episode 501 that was titled The 7 Parts of an Irresistible Offer. Courtney, thank you. Link that episode. The number one thing the number one part of the number one part of an irresistible offer is the promise. What are you promising folks that they're going to get on the other side of this thing? What are they going to be able to do? What are they going to know? What are they going to have? Right? The stronger that this promise is or this guarantee of a result is, and the more desirable meaning that people actually want it and they know that they want it, the better chance that you have at getting customers. Absolutely. That is just like point blank fact. Clearly, you must be able to deliver on that result. You must be able to actually deliver that result, but you'll still be able to get clients, even if you can't get to it. I'm not saying you should do this, right? But the way things work is that if you can promise, you have a really strong promise, and you can highlight this outcome and promise this outcome, you'll still get clients. You just won't keep them, and you'll have no word of mouth referrals if you can't actually deliver on it, right? James Clear has a quote, something along the lines of, clever marketing can sell once, but only a good product can sell twice, right? So yes, in my humble opinion, the ability to guarantee a result is something that we as business owners should be striving for. To that end, done for you services, I'm thinking about Lex right now, done for you services will always be able to charge more, right? They'll always be able to charge the most of any service. And those people that offer done for you services will always have work. Why? Because there's a guaranteed outcome. Lex makes websites. Like when they're done working with her, you're going to have a website. And you know what it's going to look like because she has all the testimonials, things like that, and she can actually deliver on it. She's phenomenal at what she does. Whereas a done with you service or a do it yourself service, that requires that the consumer do some work as well. And many folks know that they're just not going to do it, or they just don't want to do it. They don't trust themselves. Right? The more variables that you have and that you introduce to an equation, the less certain the outcome is going to be. And people realize that, which means they're not willing to pay as much. When they know for sure they're getting that outcome, amazing, right? They'll pay. This is why I paid for movers. I was like, yes, that will be moved and done. And here's the guarantee. Yes, I will pay for that. You have me come in involved with it, and I'm like, it might take longer. I might break it because it's heavy. So done for you services, they're always going to be able to charge more. And those people will always, always, always have work. Now, as it relates to, that was the kind of the first part of the things I want to talk about, which is just the role that guaranteeing results plays when it comes to having an online business. The second part I want to talk about is how your comfort level will change as you get more experience as it relates to guaranteeing results. Right? As you gain more experience, as you get more reps, you work with more people, your ability to guarantee a result will typically increase. This obviously requires that you are actually able to deliver a result. I said it earlier, that just goes without saying. You have to be good at what you do. Right? If you're good at what you do, you will get customers, you will get clients. And I think that if you have no clients, the first thing you should be working on is focusing on is getting really fucking good at what you do. And you can get that training on the job, right? You work for somebody else, you get the reps on someone else's dollar, and you can take that skill set anywhere, right? It all starts with your ability to actually get the results. And then you can work on the marketing, aka your ability to talk about and share, tell stories about your ability to get those results. So right now I'm thinking about Anna Hartman and Meg Coppell-Duffy. Brought both of them on the podcast. Courtney, if you link those, we got a lot of links coming out today. And if you link those, that would be awesome. But they're both in the health and movement space. And yes, they can guarantee results. And yes, they do guarantee results. And to me, that's actually something that really separates them from other online business owners or other healthcare, health, wellness, fitness professionals that are in this space. Because for so many folks, it's that whole it's that whole it depends, right? It depends. Meg and Anna over here no, I can help you out. I can get you better. I'm thinking about Karen as well. She's not in the online space, my chiropractor. She's the same way. I go to her because I know that I can get a result. I know she's going to help me. Right? That result is there. I think back to when I was treating, and in the beginning, there's a clip, folks. And if you've seen it, you've seen it. And this is like a meme kind of thing, a video on Instagram. And it goes, in the beginning. If you've seen it, you've seen it. And hopefully you've seen it. It fucking cracks me up. But when I think back to when I first started treating, I very much leaned on the whole it depends. And I would lean on the client side of it. It depends on how much effort the client is willing to put in. It's no shit. Of course that is a variable. As you mature and as you get better at what you do and you see more people and you get more results, your confidence in your ability to actually affect things and change things increases. And suddenly what you can promise and the result that you can promise, that changes as well. Yes, of course, the client has to do things. Yes, my name is not Jesus, of course. But that kind of just goes without saying. It's yes, the client's going to do what they got to do. But what is the thing that you what is the result that you can guarantee? Super, super, super valuable to have that as part of your, business repertoire, but something that you will absolutely step into more and be able to promise more and have more confidence in promising as you progress in your career. I'm talking about this now in terms of when I was treating, but the same thing goes for online business. I just wrapped up launching round 14 of my Instagram intensive. And what I promised this round and what I can promise now is very different than what I could promise in 2019 when I was on round number 1. And, I'm 500 people later. I've taken 500 professionals to do this. I know what I can promise. I know what I feel comfortable promising. In the beginning, all I could promise was that I would show up 110%. Now I'm I can teach you exactly how to use Instagram for online business if you are a health and or fitness professional. I can teach you exactly how to use it in a way that is sustainable and that lends itself to longevity and that lends itself to transparency, and authenticity. I know these things. I've taken people through it. Same for Legacy, the program that Jill and I run. That's our that's our mentor mind for intermediate plus online business owners. And the promise that we have is that you will have your best launch. We do have like a little asterisk there that you may have your best launch shortly after the program ends, because it's only 6 months long, but I guarantee if we accepted into this program, it means we know that you can do it and you have all the pieces in place. You follow what we're teaching and you do what we're teaching, you will have your biggest launch, right? First round in, we couldn't do that. 3 rounds in, we can absolutely do that. So I will plug the waitlist for that. We're launching that next month in the end of October. So if you want to be the first to know about the doors open for the registration, for applications, get on that waitlist. No, there's no commitment or anything like that, or obligation by being on the waitlist, but you'll be the first to hear about it. So thank you, Courtney. So the question that I have for you is, are you leaning into this improved proficiency and this improved ability to guarantee results and this improved confidence in guaranteeing results? Or are you continuing to lean on the crutch that it depends what the customer or patient does, right? There's the both and exists here, absolutely. But I think we should lean on it. We should approach it from their involvement goes without saying. Of course, they have to do their things. And then from there, if that is a given, what can you promise? What result can you guarantee? The last part here that I want to talk about is actually the role of the client, the customer, the patient when it comes to guaranteeing results. I've said that we don't want to leave their involvement rather is a given. But if we're going to think about what is their role, I think that the focus that they should have is simply on effort, not outcome. My favorite quote from Meredith Root: have expectations of effort, not outcome. For those of you who don't know, Meredith Root, I brought her on the podcast like a billion times. Her and her wife, Alex Parker, they own Tactic Nutrition. Bring them on every year to start the year or end the year, just kind of around that time. But I believe that the focus for us as providers that we have for them, or the expectations that we have for them, should be on their effort, not on the outcome. As providers, we manage their expectations that they have as it relates to the outcome. But we should also be able to have a reasonable guess. Let me back that up. We should also be able to provide a reasonable guess as to what the outcome will be if they give their full effort, right? And they give their full effort to the things that affect the outcome and that are actually in their control. Like I'm thinking about social media right now, and like going viral, like you don't have a lot of say in that, but you can control how often you're showing up. You can control the quality of the content that you're putting out, right? So my expectation is that they're going to focus on that, and I'm going to help them with, coming up with the type of content. I'm going to help them with refining the content. I'm going to help them with stepping into themselves, stepping into that authenticity piece. I'm going to help them with listening to their customer base and listening to what people actually want and be able to interpret what people actually want. I'm going to help them with the consistency piece. I'm going to help them with being able to actually show up in a way that's fun for them, that allows for longevity and allows for sustainability, so they can start receiving some of these questions from people and having these interactions with people. Right? All of those things we have control over, and then from there I can reasonably look to set expectations as it relates to the outcome. Okay. So wrapping it up as it relates to guaranteeing results. One, from a sales perspective, from a business perspective, it can definitely increase sales. It can definitely increase customer acquisition when you have the ability to guarantee a result. Second part, as you gain more experience, your comfort with guaranteeing results, your confidence in guaranteeing results, and your specificity in terms of what results you're guaranteeing will increase. You will be more willing to shift that responsibility as it relates to the outcome from the client, or rather away from the client and onto yourself, with the specific parameters around what you can actually guarantee. And then the last part that we talked about is the role of the customer. And to me, as it relates to guaranteeing results, the role of the customer simply is to focus on having expectations of effort, not outcome. Their job is to show up, do the thing. That's it. So the big take home here, if you're focused on getting more clients, if you're trying to make more money, my suggestion, focus on your ability to guarantee a specific result. Yes, of course, some results are perhaps more universally desirable than others, but the focus of today's episode, and where I think you should start, is simply, can you guarantee a result at all? All right, let's read a review. This is a longer one, so I strategically left a little bit more time, and then I'll wrap it up here. As always, I'm so grateful that you leave these results. It's a very unidirectional platform. I know that you probably associate that word with me now, unidirectional, as I say it every fucking episode, but it's true. I'm talking into the camera, looking at myself. But today's review comes from my girl, Jen. She's Jen, a dash of macros. 11 billion thanks. She wrote, writing this while listening to episode 500. First of all, congratulations. But second, 11 billion thanks for all of your episodes and all the knowledge bombs you drop. I started listening at the end of 2021, right after I signed up for Legacy 2.0. I had no clue who you were yet, and I just paid all the monies to work with you and Jill. So I searched you and started listening. I'm pretty sure I've listened to every episode since, but I was hooked and so freaking excited to actually get to work with you and meet you in person. For anyone new here, Shantae is exactly who she presents here on social media in person. That may be supposed to say Shantae is exactly how she presents here on social media in person. Shantae, your energy, your vibe, your words of wisdom are inspiring. I learned all the things in Legacy, and when it was over, I wasn't done learning from you and wanted to stay connected, so I joined the Mafia. She is in it. While I can't attend all of the calls, know I'm there lurking and learning from you and everyone in the group. I look forward to rewatch those calls and catch you on here, your podcast, every Monday and Thursday. My business has changed pretty drastically since initially meeting you. Yes, it has, and I love it. But it has grown more than I can ever have imagined, and I found my place, my area of genius, and I owe some of that success to you. In your words, you're the real MVP. Thank you. Chick's been listening. Jen, create and automate, formerly a dash of macros. She has pivoted her business. We'll link her in the show notes. She has pivoted her business, and I actually refer out to her for people that are looking kind of for some of those done-for-you services, kind of the back end of things, automations, just getting shit in order, keeping things tight. She has a brain for that. Big time. It's got the personality for that. So we'll link her in the show notes, but I love it. She's the real MVP. Y'all the real MVPs. Today, talking about guaranteeing results. I've said it each time I read these reviews. I don't read the reviews beforehand. And so it's cool when the review just happens to fit in. And it's not so much, happenstance or what's the word? Coincidence. It makes sense. Like the people that listen to this and they like my message and we have a very similar goals and things like that. But it's really cool when the review kind of reflects what I was saying, and I can't think of the word I don't know. You're sitting there in your car and you're like, this is the word, Maestro. I know, I can't think of it right now. Kind of reiterates what the point of the episode was. And, talking about the ability to guarantee results and the value of done for you services versus do it yourself versus done with you. And then having Jen come in here and talk about the results that she got from Legacy, and then talk about how her business has shifted. And now she is offering a lot of those done for you services. This is really, really cool. And she can promise, an outcome, and she will deliver on it. So very cool to see all of this. I love hearing from all of you, and I'm stoked to be recording in the new space. The light is holding out. It's a little bit darker than I would like, but it's working out, and we're just going to keep moving forward. So as always, endlessly appreciative for every single one of you. Until next time, friends, Maestro